In the age of endless notifications, constant commentary, and voices competing to be heard, there is power in knowing when to speak, and even greater power in knowing when not to. This is not just a question of social etiquette. It's a philosophical question, one that touches ethics, truth, emotion, and the human experience. For the next half hour, let's explore what some of the greatest minds in history have said about speech, silence, and the wisdom to choose between them. Words seem small, harmless, fleeting, but they carry weight. A kind word can heal. A cruel word can scar. A single sentence can start a war, or end one. Philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein believed that the limits of our language are the limits of our world. And that means, what you choose to say shapes what's possible around you. So the question isn't just, should I speak? But, what kind of world am I creating when I do? Socrates spoke constantly, but not carelessly. He asked questions not to argue, but to dig deeper. He called himself a midwife of ideas, not their originator, because he believed wisdom was already within us. Speech just helped bring it out. But Socrates also warned, "I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing." This kind of humility should guide our words. Before you speak, ask yourself, am I speaking to understand, or to appear smart? Am I listening as much as I'm talking? There's a timeless parable, shared across Sufi, Buddhist, and Greek traditions, called the three filters. A man approaches Socrates, eager to share gossip. But Socrates stops him and asks, "Is what you're about to say true, good, and useful?" The man admits it's not all three. So Socrates replies, "Then why say it at all?" Before we speak, online or in person, those three questions remain powerful. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? If not, perhaps silence is better. In Zen Buddhism, words are seen as limited tools. They point toward truth, but cannot capture it fully. That's why Zen koans are sometimes paradoxes. They're meant to break logic and point beyond speech. Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching writes, "He who speaks does not know. He who knows does not speak." This isn't about never talking. It's about trusting that stillness can communicate more than noise. When was the last time you were fully present, in silence? Not thinking of what to say next, just listening. For the Stoics, speech wasn't about freedom, it was about discipline. Marcus Aurelius journaled quietly, not to perform, but to reflect. Seneca warned against wasting words in gossip or complaints. To the Stoics, speaking in anger is a loss of control. Speaking without thinking is a failure of virtue. Seneca said, "Speech devoted to truth should be plain and unadorned." So, speak when you've calmed the storm inside. Speak only if what you're saying serves a purpose. We've never had more ways to speak. But are we saying more, or just speaking louder? In the age of TikToks, tweets, and 24/7 updates, silence is almost suspicious. But here's a truth few admit. You don't have to have a take on everything. Philosopher Jiddu Krishnamurti once said, "To observe without evaluating is the highest form of intelligence." In a world of instant reactions, maybe the most intelligent thing you can do is pause. Silence is not always passive. Sometimes it's protest. Sometimes it's grief. Sometimes it's presence. And sometimes it's the most respectful response. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." Know the difference between cowardly silence and courageous restraint. Sometimes, staying silent is complicity. Other times, it's wisdom. Let's slow down with a reflection. Ask yourself, is what I'm about to say true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Am I speaking to connect or to control? Will this bring clarity or confusion? Am I speaking from wisdom or from woundedness? Am I reacting or responding? Am I okay with silence? Does this align with my values? Will I regret saying this? You don't have to answer all these every time. But even pausing to consider just one changes everything. So, when should you speak? Speak when your words bring truth. When they serve others. When they are rooted in love, not ego. When silence would be misunderstood. When silence would be injustice. But don't speak to fill a void. Don't speak to prove your worth. Sometimes the greatest strength is choosing not to speak. Thank you for sitting with this thought. If this gave you something to reflect on, share it with someone who speaks from the heart, or someone learning to. Subscribe for more content that goes beneath the surface. Until next time, stay thoughtful.